Hey everyone, it's Emma, just a girl who loves Elvis. There's a thought that always lingers with me. A gentle whisper that seems to arrive whenever the world feels a little too sharp, a little too overwhelming. It says, we could all stand to be a little more like Elvis. Not Elvis the superstar, not the global phenomenon, not the man on the stage with the spotlights burning around him. I mean the Elvis who laughed, the Elvis who listened, the Elvis who made people feel safe simply by being near him. The world today moves so fast, too loud, too rushed, too ready to judge. And sometimes I look around and think, if people carried the kindness he carried, the softness he held, maybe we would all breathe a little easier. One of the things people who truly knew Elvis always said was that he led with their hearts. That was his compass, his guide. He had the rare ability to make people feel seen, not just noticed, but truly seen. Whenever he was talking to a fan at the gates of Graceland, a lighting crew member or set, or a stranger he met in a hallway, he gave the people his attention, his focus, his warmth. And I think that's part of why the world is still drawn to him decades later. His heart wasn't something he tried to hide or protect. He wore it openly, and his love was something he gave freely. But what I love most is that he wasn't selective. Kindness wasn't something he saved for people who could offer him something in return. He poured it out everywhere he went, to whoever crossed his path. Being more like Elvis means leading with empathy. It means putting softness into a world that sometimes rewards hardness. It means remembering that everyone you meet is carrying something you can't see, and offering warmth anyway. Elvis's generosity is almost impossible to capture in words, because it wasn't just the big gestures, though he certainly made more than most. Sure, he brought cars for strangers, paid medical bills for people who never expected help, and surprised friends with gifts that changed their lives. But the deeper truth is that Elvis didn't give for praise. He didn't give for publicity. He gave because it was instinct, because he cared, because he wanted people to feel protected, valued, lifted. And behind those gestures was a deeper kindness, one that came from knowing what it felt like to struggle. Elvis never forgot where he came from. He never forgot hunger, fear, or loneliness. And that meant he never looked down on anyone. Being like Elvis is about seeing the world through compassionate eyes. It's about giving without expecting anything back. It's about making someone's day easier, simply because you can. Kindness to him wasn't a performance. It was the truest part of who he was. One of the most powerful things about Elvis was that he allowed himself to feel deeply. He wasn't ashamed of emotion. He embraced it. He laughed loudly, he loved fiercely, and he grieved with an honesty that most people hide. Elvis didn't pretend to be made of stone. He didn't mask his humanity to seem strong. Instead, he showed us that strength is in vulnerability, that allowing people to see your heart is brave. In today's world, we're often taught to hold back, to stay guarded, to protect ourselves from being hurt. But Elvis reminds us that feeling isn't weakness. Feeling is living. And being like Elvis means allowing yourself to be human, fully, openly, beautifully. It means embracing joy when it arrives, acknowledging sorrow when it comes, and letting love guide your choices. There are countless stories of Elvis entering a room and changing its entire energy. Not with fame, not with ego, but with light. People felt safe around him. They felt valued. They felt like they mattered. When Elvis spoke to you, he wasn't thinking about the next conversation or the next obligation. He was with you, fully present, fully warm, and it made people feel held, even for a moment. His presence wasn't about being the centre of attention. He never needed to dominate a space. Instead, he illuminated it. Being like Elvis means being the person who brings comfort into a room. Someone whose presence makes others breathe a little easier. Someone who lifts atmosphere simply by being kind, attentive and warm. Like all of us, Elvis was imperfect, and he never pretended otherwise. But that honestly made him even more remarkable. He struggled with pain, pressure, illness and expectations that no human being could ever fully carry. And yet he kept trying. He kept showing up for fans, for friends, for the people he loved. He kept giving, even when his body was failing him. That wasn't weakness. That was devotion. Being more like Elvis means accepting that being human is not a flaw. We all stumble. We all fall. We all break a little along the way. But what matters is getting back up with compassion for ourselves and for others. Elvis teaches us that imperfection isn't something to hide. It's something that connects us. When you look at Elvis's legacy beyond the music, beyond the film, beyond the fame, you find something almost poetic. He awakened gentleness in people. He stirred kindness. He inspired generations not just to sing or dance, but to love a little deeper, to give a little more, to feel a little braver. His legacy isn't just sound, it's spirit. It's a reminder that what we leave behind isn't measured in achievements, but in the hearts we touched. So when I say the world could use being a little more Elvis, I don't mean the rhinestones, the fame or the spotlight. I mean the hearts, the kindness, the compassion, the willingness to feel, the courage to love. It starts with us in how we speak, how we listen, how we treat the people around us. A little more gentleness, a little more empathy, a little more humanity, a little more Elvis. Thank you for listening, and thank you for keeping his spirit alive with me. This was Emma, just a girl who loves Elvis. And I hope today, wherever you are, you carry a little bit of light of his light into the world.